Hello, my name is Sabelo Ndlovu-Gatsheni, the author of the book Coloniality of Power in Postcolonial Africa, Myth of Decolonization. The first edition of this book was in 2013. It is a book which actually touches on various important aspects of our reality on the continent of Africa and in the diaspora. And it actually touches on 4, if not 5 issues. The first one is the colonial matrix of power, how power is working since the colonial encounter right up to the present. And the second major issue explored in this book is the issue of a perennial question of the African identities, their construction and the reconstruction, indeed the whole issue of being reconstructed and defined from outside, as well as our self-definition as a people. And then the third dimension addressed in this book is really the empirical stuff, which covers the 2 countries, the country of Zimbabwe and the country South Africa. And there, the book really introduces the national projects in those 2 countries. When did they start? What has been the trajectories? What have been the trials and tribulations in the national projects? And what is their state now? And then the other last important aspect covered in this book is the question of violence in the colonial and the post-colonial Africa. It is a book which at the moment is going to be getting its 2nd edition. And this 2nd edition comes at a moment when there is resurgent and insurgent decolonization of the 21st century. And it becomes really very, very topical because it stands really at the center of the current debates on colonialism, coloniality, decolonization, and decoloniality. So it is a book which remains very topical. Hence, the 2nd edition is very important. And in the 2nd edition, I actually rewrote and a new preface to it. And in that new preface, I tried to explain the genealogy of my decolonial consciousness as a person, because this book is also part of my own biography, intellectual biography. And I also tried to, in the new preface, to engage some of the colleagues who wanted to understand what is the divergence and the convergence between the long tradition of decolonization in Africa and the Latin American tradition of modernity, coloniality, decoloniality, and coloniality. And I tried in this preface to articulate how the two traditions of thought converge and how they complement each other. Of course, because of the different variations in colonial experience, there will be differences. But what I emphasized in this book is really the convergences and the complementarities, as the common factor is really the question of colonialism and coloniality as problems which are not really a legacy, which are not also a past, but which are problems which are a present, and they continue to affect our lives in the 21st century. So it's a book which I will really recommend to the community of scholars on the continent, in the diaspora, and the world at large. it is a book which I think carries really the topical issues of the moment, the question of constructions and the reconstructions of power in asymmetrical ways, the questions of articulations of identity. Particularly on the continent, we witness the issue of seesaw in our Black and African consciousness, that in the 60s and even before, you will find that there was always this embracement of Black consciousness as a unitary strand which unites the Africans in the continent and those in the diaspora. And then you will see also the tensions between the Pan-African consciousness and the territorial nationalistic consciousness. And then the other iterations are those of the ethnic consciousness and also the nativist consciousness, the autochthonous consciousness. And this book actually looks at all those and highlights the contradictions, the complexities, the ambiguities, and the ambivalences in the understanding of what is Africa, what is African, and who are the Africans. And it also, as I said earlier on, addresses the other cross-cutting problem of production and the reproduction of violence across the colonial and the post-colonial interludes of African experience. And of course, it ends with an interesting question, the question of the murky present and the mysterious future. Where are we going as Africans? And with these few words, I want to thank Codesria for issuing the second edition of this book. Thank you.